Guys, what's up? Welcome to a brand new type of video. Today we are going down the top 10 best video games of 2017. This year has been actually really good for video games. I've really enjoyed a lot of the games that have come out this year. And let me just say, this was a really hard list to make. There were some that I had to put on honorable mention, which I will be mentioning. Let's get straight into it. For some honorable mentions here, I have Call of Duty World War II, South Park The Fractured Butthole, Lost Legacy, the Uncharted spinoff, of course, Shadow of War, Splatoon 2, and also PUBG. A lot of games that I had a lot of fun with this year, but seriously, I had some games that really just changed me and I had a lot more fun with. And the reason I didn't, so I think a lot of you guys are probably like, why isn't PUBG higher? Or Splatoon 2? These were games that I loved a lot. I didn't get to play a lot of PUBG this year, and I feel like it's unfair of me to kind of do an alpha game. I feel like when the game is fully released, this game will for sure win Game of Awards and everything of that. But, like I said, there were some other great games this year, and why don't we just get straight into them? Coming in at number 10 is Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. Now, Crash Bandicoot was one of my favorite games growing up, and knowing that the fact that they remastered and remade pretty much the 3 best Crash Bandicoot games was awesome. The game is literally just like my childhood. The graphics are phenomenal, the cutscenes all interweave, and it's just fun to get some friends together, sit around, and play Crash Bandicoot again, because I really enjoy Crash Bandicoot overall. Coming in number 9 was a game that I was not on the good side of when I first started playing. That is Evil Within 2. This game, you know, I'm a big fan of the first Evil Within. The story was a little convoluted, and this game obviously made the story a little bit more self-simplified. They did change a lot of the voice actors and did change a lot of the style. This game is not as hard as the first one, but I do think that the story is riveting to a point to where I'm actually interested in it. But I think the thing that really takes it home for me with Evil Within 2 is the combat and the exploration, that they really delve deeper into this game. I think the combat and the way that this game is pretty much an open world game was very different. The scares obviously aren't as much in there, but I did find a lot to love in Evil Within 2. I think there's a lot of good moments in here, a lot of great character development for some characters, and a good send-off for the series if we don't happen to see another Evil Within. I think Evil Within 2 is a great character building off of the first game. Even though it didn't have the scares as much as I wanted to, I think the story improves everything. More different enemy types that we had to face in here that I thought made the game overall more an intriguing playthrough. It makes me want to go within and play it again. I thought it wasn't as clunky and laggy as the first one, but like I said, the first one was a more difficult game, so maybe that's what they were going for. The second one they made them make easier so more people would join in, but still, the second one has its moments that are terrifying, and I really enjoyed playing Evil Within 2. Coming in at number 8 is another horror game this year, and that is Resident Evil 7. This game scared the crap out of me, at least for the first 6 hours I played it. And then there's a certain point in the game where you do get to, and it kind of loses its luster, but the game is still intense, the game is still difficult, the game is still fun to play. This is actually a game I did do my live stream of this year, and that was a lot of fun to play, because I did get scared quite a few times. There was quite a few times where there was a lot of cussing, and I really did overall enjoy Resident Evil 7. I think this really got us back into the Resident Evil feel, and I cannot wait to see where they take the franchise from here. I think the ending was a little shoe-in with the kind of, oh, we have to make it sure people know it's in the Resident Evil franchise, and that is not a total reboot, but I do think it should have been a reboot. It feels like a little soft reboot, but overall, Resident Evil 7, the combat, the first-person persona, the atmosphere, everything in there, and even the story was all intriguing, and I love this game. Number 7 is Fortnite. This is a game I've been looking forward to for years because I'm a big fan of the developers on this game. And ever since they announced it, I was like, oh, Minecraft? It's pretty much Minecraft with this whole cartoon aspect of Team Fortress, and that's what the game feels like. But then they added this Battle Royale mode that's like PUBG with their own flavor of it and being able to build, and I think the game just overall is a fun time with some friends, with yourself. It's just so wacky and crazy. I just love Fortnite. Seeing the bases you can build. I think the microtransactions are a little bit too much. And I also do think it's kind of BS that if you paid $60 for the game, you don't get all these different costumes and stuff for Battle Royale. That you have to pay separately or trying to win token. It doesn't make sense. But overall, Fortnite is a very fun game, and now for my future, ever since they announced it, ever since they had the Battle Royale mode, I think there are a lot of things that we're really gonna like about this mode, and I cannot wait to see what they do in the future of Fortnite, knowing that this game is growing and building and having a great fan base. Coming in at number 6 is probably one that you guys are gonna be all pissed at me for putting at, and that is Super Mario Odyssey. Now let me defend myself. The reason it has the reason that it is at number 6 is because I have not played that much of this game. I just got it, but I've already been swept away and in love with this game. I know that if I played it more, it would probably be down the road, but since the year's coming to an end and I have to get this video out, and I know a lot of you guys are asking me to do a lot more video game content, I thought, why not do it now? And Super Mario Odyssey, as I can say, is probably one of the best Nintendo games in a very long time. I mean, we obviously had some great other Nintendo games this year, like I said, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8, but the Nintendo Switch has really changed the dynamic of what we have here with the Nintendo Switch, and I think Nintendo Super Mario Odyssey, if they keep knocking games out of the park like this, we're going to have a fantastic console and probably one of the best in Nintendo history. And coming at number 5 is one of the biggest surprises. It's another game that I've been waiting for since I think like 2013, and that is Cuphead. Cuphead is one of my favorite games of this year. Now, the game is difficult. It is Dark Souls difficult. This game is almost impossible to beat. I have beaten it. I loved Cuphead the whole way through. I think the animation is so awesome, the way that it's drawn in. And my favorite cartoons of all time are the old classic Mickeys and the old classic Popeyes and stuff like that. And Cuphead brought me back to that. I loved what they did with Cuphead. The visual aesthetics is pretty much what makes Cuphead stick out against any other platformer. But Cuphead is also, like I said, one of the hardest games. This game is pretty much a boss battle galore. If you don't like boss battles, you will not like this game. But I do think if you like the animation style, you might want to try this out, even if you're not a fan of Dark Souls type games, because this game doesn't make you mad, it makes you want to get better at the game, and that's what I love about Cuphead. It never, when you die, it's your fault. That's how I always felt. It never was a cheap way or a cheap gimmick or something glitchy. This game runs smooth, the controls are great. I love the little dynamic in the world that they build in Cuphead, and I just overall loved Cuphead, and this is one of my favorite games of this year. And number 4 is one of the best fighting games to ever come out, and that is Injustice 2. Taking the dynamic between the first Injustice, bringing in DC characters, taking that Mortal Kombat fighting style that everyone loves and putting it into another game, but delving deeper into it, adding an armor system, adding a richer story that continues off the first game, but also adding something that's super supreme to everything. Like I said, the armor system's in there, but you also have to praise this multiverse. So for me, I'm not the biggest fighting fan. I like fighting games. I like my Marvel vs. Capcom. I love Super Smash Brothers. I love Street Fighter. I love Tekken. I love all these fighting games. I especially love Mortal Kombat. But Injustice has always been the cool game to me. Game I always end up going back to because of this multiverse, because of these armor sets that I want to keep unlocking, because of the leveling system. It is so deep, dive down deep, that it makes you want to get better at the game. And I'm actually, I would say, pretty dang good at this game. I don't have to button mash or anything. This is a game that makes you want to get better with these characters so you can unlock better customizations, make your characters look more badass. Plus, what can I say? They are supporting the hell out of this game. Hellboy has been added. Adam has been added. Spawn or any of the Watchmen characters yet. I do feel like we are going to get more characters soon for this, and I like I said, Injustice 2 carries this great rich story, a great control scheme, a great multiverse, and just overall a great aesthetics that makes me want to come back and play the game even more. Coming at number 3 is Wolfenstein 2. I love the first Wolfenstein. I grew up with Wolfenstein, but Wolfenstein 2 takes it to a whole new level. This game is just kick-assery all the way around. The story is outrageous and crazy, crazier than the first game. This one also adds a bunch of great modes. There are some moments in here that I think are some of the best video game moments of like the last 5 years, and some of the most badass moments too. It is a very hard game, I will say that. I died a lot in this game. I played it on one of the harder difficulties, but I have to say Blazkowicz is such a unique, funny character. I love what they did with this. There is actually a replayability to this game that makes you want to keep replaying the game, even though it does not have an online. But also Wolfenstein 2 carries a rich, good story that makes you want to just kill Nazis and have fun. And Wolfenstein 2 is one of the biggest surprises for me for this year, because even though the first game was really good and really fun, I didn't know how you were going to take that tone and make it even more bonkers and crazy, and you did. And I think Bethesda and everyone who worked on that really did a fantastic job with Wolfenstein 2, and I have to praise them for that. And number 2, the 1 and 2 were the hardest things for me, but number 2 is Horizon Zero Dawn. Another game that I bought, but never got to play till a couple months later. And let me tell you, Horizon Zero Dawn, the second I got into this story, the second I got into this world, I was so into this game that I could not stop playing. This game reminds me of Game of Thrones mixed with robotic dinosaurs. You throw all that in the mix, and that is what this game is contained with. The main character, Aloy, is, I don't care what anyone says, I think she's unique. She's what we need for a female protagonist, and I think this world, even though the story might be a little generic at times, it does carry a rich mythology that is beautiful to the scenery. Also, did I say this is probably the best looking game of 2017? I love Horizon Zero Dawn. If you have not played this game yet, you must go and check it out. This is the reason to buy a PS4. This is easily one of the best next-gen games, and I cannot wait to see where they take this franchise, because coming off of Killzone, I like the Killzone franchise, but I've never been a die-hard Killzone fan. To me, Horizon Zero Dawn is their next level game. The open world, the cinematics, everything that revolves around this game almost makes it to be a completely perfect package, and I loved Horizon Zero Dawn, and I cannot wait to visit this world again. It is so damn good. I mean, now we come to number one, and this is a game that I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already commented saying, why didn't you talk about this game? That is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is easily my favorite game of this year. This is the only game I've continuously played throughout the year ever since I got a Nintendo Switch, and this is the reason to own a Nintendo Switch. Breath of the Wild is one of the best Zelda games ever made. Maybe it might even be my favorite. And I played every single Zelda game, and that's saying a lot. I know a lot of people might have different dynamics on that, but for me, Breath of the Wild contained every single thing I've ever wanted. It changed up Legend of Zelda a lot. It made it very hard in this one. It's very open world. You get to go do whatever you want. You get quests, but overall, it's your story. You get to choose what to do. And I love that. I love that feeling. I love everything about that, because that's what makes Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild so unique. From the aesthetics to the cartoon graphics to the world that you get the environments into, the enemies you meet, to the characters you meet, it's all unique, and the story that goes through here and tells is so dang good. And like I said, one of the best Legend of Zelda games ever made. Like I said, if you do not own a Switch yet, and you were hesitant to because of how the Wii U and how the Wii didn't really have any big games besides like Twilight Princess and Super Smash Brothers, this is the game to buy the Switch for. You can take it wherever you want. You can play it on your TV. This is seriously the best game of 2017. This is my favorite game of 2017, and I don't think this should be a surprise to anyone. I loved Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Make sure to comment down below and tell me, what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts? What were your favorite video games of this year? That is my thing. And make sure to comment down below and tell me, what did you guys think about this video? Did you like my list? Did you guys disagree with it? What would you have added? What would you have changed? That is what we're going to be talking about down below, and I will be talking with you guys all about this, because I love talking video games. I love talking movies as well, because that's what I usually do on this channel. But of course, guys, you guys have been asking for a lot of video game content on this channel. I told you guys I would be bringing more, and I promise for the new year, that is my resolution, to bring you guys more. But of course, I hope you guys have a happy New Year's if you guys are just dropping by to join in. But if you guys did like this, make sure to subscribe, and as always, stay classy. And guys, also make sure to check out Sandwich John Films, the website down below. You guys can find some giveaways and advanced screenings down there.